morning once again, and welcome back to Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. My name is Sage Babalola. We're moving on to other parts of conversations, the one that mostly includes you speaking to us about what you think about some of the stories that we have discussed earlier in the day. We recently had trends in the papers about 10 minutes ago. We looked through the papers, the Punch, the Guardian, and the Vanguard newspaper. We had quite a lot of important stories to analyze. Fuhad Saheed did join us to expand on the conversations that we had regarding the crisis in the oil sector, the supposed protest that is slated for the 1st of August, and all of the effort of the government to abate that particular planned protest, as at this moment no particular group, no particular person has taken responsibility for that protest. So even if negotiations are going to happen, questions like who exactly are you going to speak to is one of the many important questions that have been asked. Also, good news for the electricity sector, as the World Bank and the Africa Development Bank has decided to invest $7.5 billion into the electricity sector of the country, and we're more than hopeful for what is to come. That's me just talking about some of the important stories we analyzed. But for mainland focus, which is happening at this time, we have two particular stories that have been selected or highlighted for broader conversation, and we want to hear what it is you have to say about these two stories. So this is mainland focus. From now until 9:45 a.m. we'll be taking contributions via the phone line, via WhatsApp, via text message, and also via our streaming platform, which is currently on at the moment. So if you're listening to us and you'd rather contribute via the live stream, please go on to Facebook or YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM is the handle, at Mainland 98.3 FM. Once you put that in the search bar of your Facebook or YouTube platform, you're immediately connected with us. Just click on and you're onto the live stream. Well, for Mainland Focus this morning, two stories, like I said before, have been selected. First, the fuel crisis is a no-brainer. We have to talk about that. Marketers project 700 billion naira monthly subsidy. The reports this morning told us that marketers are saying with the landing cost of petrol being over 1,000 naira, I think 1,117 naira precisely, it's impossible that the pump price is still around 500 to 700 naira. We should be paying more, which only means that the government is still paying subsidy of some form. They went on ahead to give us the breakdown at the landing cost, the consumption in the country, which is about 44.3%, and so about 500 naira subsidy is being paid on every single litre that is consumed in a day. That's enough for you to calculate, and the cumulative sum per month would be 700 billion naira monthly. So what do you make of these projections and revelations by the marketers on subsidy payment, especially since the novel subsidy is gone statement was one of the triggers of what we're currently seeing in the oil sector? And up until now, we've not had any official statement per se to confirm that we're actually paying these subsidies. But individuals like Nasir El-Rufai and even now the fuel marketers are saying subsidy of some kind is still being paid, and they've gone on ahead to give us the breakdown. So what do you make of these projections and some of the revelations by the marketers on subsidy payment? What are the issues around transparency and accountability when it comes to subsidy payment? Why is it that the government is not able to come out and give us information that we can actually bank on, information that correlates with the recent reality that we're seeing within the oil sector? So what are the issues around transparency and accountability when it comes to subsidy payment? Those are the two angles we'll be exploring that particular conversation from. And then we have the other subject matter here. Organized private sector opposes fresh interest rate hike. Don't forget that the MPC meeting, the fourth MPC meeting for the year 2024, is currently on in Abuja. And the private sector, the CPPE, for example, the OPS, for example, are imploring the MPC to not increase the interest rate again. It's about 26.4% thereabout at this particular time. And they're saying that increasing the interest rate is not the solution to the problem. We've had enough time to verify that that particular endeavor is not in any way helping us tame inflation. It would work if our inflation was demand pull, but seeing as our current inflation is caused by a cost push kind of inflation is what we're going through, this would not work. If anything, it would further make life difficult for business owners in the country. So what do you think about the opposition of the organized private sector to the new rate hike that they expect to happen at the end of the meeting? And how can we create a coverage between our monetary and fiscal policies. As it is, the monetary policies are way overstretched and they're not doing anything for us. So what do you think we need to start doing? How can we create some sort of convergence between our monetary policies and our fiscal policies? Those are the angle we'll be exploring the rest of the stories from. But as it is our usual practice here at the station, we'll first hear from Fuad. Let's hear what his final thoughts are about these particular stories, and then we would open the phone line for you to give your opinion as well. Fuad, welcome back. Thank you for being on standby. Let's hear your opinion.
All right, Sage. Again, on the issue of 700 billion, over 700 billion monthly subsidy payment, the calculation is very clear. Well, you will have noticed again that, look, we have not really gotten, even since we've been having these revelations of renewed subsidy payment. I think the last time was when Madam M쏘ɪɪṛ said we're doing about 1 trillion naira per month, which amounted to about 8 trillion naira in 8 months. We've not really gotten what I can call a well-rounded, explicit, and meaningful reaction from the government, the NMPCL particularly. The only thing they've been telling us is that, look, they are recovering all their costs. That's all they've been telling us, which in itself is just all manner of hypocrisy if you try to critically analyze such a statement. And like I've told you earlier in the morning, if no matter how worried we may have been when subsidy was an official thing, I say official now because again we don't even know what is going on. Whatever was the problem then in terms of corruption, lack of transparency, it's not as worse as we have it now. Because now we don't even have any official figures to deal with. There are no clear appropriations in the budget as to what we are paying in subsidy. So it's opaque, there's lack of transparency, and it's unfortunate that, look, we are now tolerating this. You know, a government that has come in, we had expected that it was going to be a clear departure from what we had in the past. We're going to be more transparent, more accountable to the people. Now operate in a very opaque, manner that leaves a lot of us worried as to where we're going from here. How we're going to handle all of this. But the calculation is there. Like we always say, opinions may differ, but the fact is the fact. We might have different opinions, we can have different perceptions, perceptions to issues, but the fact on ground and the books are showing, which is what we're going to use, of course, to bear a fact on, is the fact that, look, we are now paying subsidy. You can call it whatever name you want to call it. Because at 44 million liters per day, with a landing cost of 1,115, there's a margin of about 500 naira that is being added, you call it whatever name, to what we are consuming on a daily basis. If you multiply that by the 44 point something billion liters per day, which is the official figure of daily consumption of PMS, we are actually doing about 700 billion naira in subsidy payments every month. So what that tells us automatically that, look, in a year, would have been doing about 8 trillion naira in subsidy payments. The last time out, under Buhari, we were saying that, we're already getting about 4 trillion naira, so it was already becoming a problem. Now we are doing about double of that. But we are doing double of that with opaqueness, the lack of transparency, without any figure to work with, without even an appropriation in our budget. To come and justify some of these things. May God help Nigeria. And then the issue of the MPC meeting again, like I've told you, the prediction is that, look, they will still have to do about 100 basis points. We may move from our 24% to maybe something around 27%. But again, until there's a convergence in our monetary and fiscal policies, we are going nowhere. In fact, our own problem is more of fiscal policies than even monetary policy. And that's why the organized private sector is telling Mr. Cardoso, this textbook solution is not going to work. You are actually giving the prescription of somebody who has leprosy, but somebody who has a papa, because it's all about the skin, and the problem is, the reality is that our own problem is not the same problem that this solution is going to solve, the way it has helped other people to solve it. We have our own peculiar problem, which is more fiscal policy. Like I've told you, we need to address the cost of living, which has been heightened by the subsidy removal, electricity tariff, insecurity in the land, the fact that farmers can't go to farm. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not about more money chasing fewer goods now. We have the goods, the money is not available to buy it. So the inflationary trend is a result of different things, and the solution cannot be the same. But again, this is where we are hoping that, look, the government will do what they need to do so that we can have some form of convergence between our monetary and fiscal policy. Without that, we are merely scratching the surface. All this sharing of rice and beans will not solve any problem. And it's not just to continue to make headlines with our fiscal policy. We will do. CNG buses now. I've been hearing CNG buses now. Maybe when I was 5 years old. Quote and unquote, to say. Where are the CNG buses? We'll be talking about mechanized farming. And nobody should come and tell us that everybody should become a farmer. Just look at somewhere in your house, you can plant something. So when there was food sufficiency in Nigeria, everybody was a farmer. God help Nigeria.
Fuad, thank you very much. We appreciate you for the further insight you've provided on the stories. This is Mainland Focus on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. 2 stories up for conversation. Marketers project that 700 billion naira subsidy payment will be paid, especially now that the landing cost is about 1,117 naira. So what do you think about that? What do you make of the projections and all of the revelations that were made by the marketers on subsidy payment? And also, what exactly is the issue with transparency and accountability when it comes to subsidy payment, such that up until this very moment, there's been no specific explanation as to this intervention that is being made on subsidy or on petroleum product, I beg your pardon, especially since we were told from the very first day that subsidy is gone. And it's so unfortunate because the figures that are projected to be spent on subsidy now are even more than the figures that we were spending in the past. So what exactly did we solve by the removal of subsidy? There's the conversation around the private sector imploring the MPC following their meeting that is currently happening in Abuja, I believe, not to increase the interest rate once again. It's currently at about 26%, and business owners are not having a field day. And so at the end of every meeting, we see an increase in the interest rate. So the private sector are saying, as much as you're meeting, please ensure that the outcome of your meeting is not an increase in the interest rates, because businesses will suffer. So what do you think about the opposition of the private sector to the possibility of a new interest rate hike, and how can we create a convergence between our monetary and fiscal policies? I just thought to summarize the focus of the day, so when we call in, we know what exactly we're speaking to and we don't derail the conversation. There are multiple ways through which you can reach us this morning. You can either call directly into the studio via the phone line 0913-6000-410. That's how you call. Now, if you'd rather send a text message or you want to send a WhatsApp message, the number you are sending your message to is 0913-6000-430. Also available is our streaming platform on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. You can use the live chat option for your messages. And speaking of the live chat option, I would like to take the messages we got earlier in the day before I start to receive phone calls. So at the start of the day, we had Olumuyiwa on Facebook send us a message. He says, "Good morning. Our major problem in the country is that we have institutionalized corruption to the extent that a hope for better tomorrow is gradually fading away. We thought Mr. President and his predecessor would have the courage to fight the cabals holding us to ransom during the Jonathan era, when he asked him to retain the subsidy and fight the cabal. Nigerian nation has been hijacked, and Nigerians need to be enlightened in order to take back their country, because these cabals have been using the weapon of ignorance to continue to manipulate Nigerians. Nigerians should wake up from their slumber and demand their freedom from these oppressors." All right, Olumuyiwa, thank you. That was on Facebook. Onotoye Temitope Michael, still on Facebook, says, "It's unfortunate that Nigeria oil sector is in a serious dilemma following the brouhaha that is going on between Dangote Refinery and NNPCL. The latest debunked news by Dangote in response to what he said that his refined diesel contains sulfur. It shows that someone is not telling Nigerians the truth. I feel at this juncture, if truly President Tinubu is for all of us and not for some, this is the time for him to step up into all of this shady and secrecy going on in the sector. If NNPCL, which is now a private company, is worried that Dangote Refinery would monopolize the market, which should have been seen as a challenge to ensure that all the 4 national refineries become functional, so as to create a level playing ground. In my conclusion, all I can derive from this, which is nothing but the truth, is that crude oil that has been contracted out, which is the reason Dangote has not been able to get crude for refining. My advice is for the president to address the contracted crude oil signed by the immediate past administration, or invest more in the extraction of crude oil to increase the daily generation. God bless Nigeria." Temitope Onotoye from Ijagemo community. That was a mouthful. Well, thank you very much. Tʀᴇɪᴅs Iṛ says, good morning. Protests are impromptu and spontaneous, which can result to violence if resisted by the state and security agencies. We do not call for any unjustified violence, but if the protest must turn violence before the APC government should listen to the people, I don't see the problem. Well, there is a problem. We can't encourage violence, Mr. Tʀᴇɪᴅs Thompson. We can't encourage violence of any kind. Moving on to your other message, you say, now because those that live in glass house do not throw stones, it has become very difficult to help to change the narrative. Such is the helplessness Nigerians must live with. Peaceful protest is the political capital of the Nigerian politicians, but it should not. The Nigerian leaders must take every prospect call serious. They should investigate and engage the protest planners towards addressing their demands. Tʀᴇɪᴅs Thompson from Obanikoro, thank you very much. More messages. Good morning. Okay, Tʀᴇɪᴅs Thompson, thank you very much. We appreciate you. It's a very lengthy message. You forgive me for not being able to read that other part of your message. But let's go to the phones. Keep your messages coming in as we take phone calls now. 2 minutes is what is allotted, please. Thank you. Good morning.
Morning to you, Babalola.
Good morning to you, Prince Wise.
Thank you, my dear. God bless you. Good morning to you over there.
Please go on ahead, sir.
It's not a man?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, ma. You see, number one, protest is part of democracy. If Mr. President himself, our Baba Buhari, he protest 2012 at Ojota. Yes, if I'm Mr. President too, I will open National Stadium, MK Abiola Stadium in Abuja, National Stadium in Lagos and other states. Let them go in there to protest. But you go protest on the street, those who long can hijack it. Because when you see some property being destroyed and they don't the exact protest, nobody will tell them to protest. But protest is part of democracy. And when we are talking of the subsidies we are talking about now, I'm telling you, taking away the subsidy, I think it's a better thing. All the presidential candidates say they will take away the subsidy. But the moment Mr. President take away the subsidy, it affects Nigeria, we know. Because not taking away the subsidy, those who are importing fuel before into this country, there is a lot of corruption in it. They will import the fuel to the country, they take it to Cameroon, they take it to a neighboring country to make more money. Because if they say they don't take it out of the country, when we remove subsidy, why did they go to protest in Cameroon? It means that benefiting from a because
Prince Wise, the conversation is not on the subsidy that they remove. That's not what like everybody has moved on. We're saying is the allegations that they're still paying said subsidy. That's what we're talking about. They're still paying said subsidy, the allegations, yeah. So what was the point of telling us that you removed it? That's the angle.
Oh, thank you. God bless you for that. Yes, I made the mark a little bit. They are paying subsidy now. When you say annulment, cancel, I don't know the same thing. Intervention. Mr. President said, and I listened that already. He said this is beyond 600 laws. Please, intervention to come in. If we are buying food at the rate of 1,002, can it be organized for the country? How many everybody can afford it? So they are paying subsidies, but the federal government call it intervention. So subsidy is bad and it's good for Nigeria.
Right.
Let me say that.
Have a great day.
Can I stop?
Wise. Yes, have a great day. Thank you for calling. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Good morning, Sage.
Oh, good morning, sir.
My name is Lucky.
Welcome.
The problem we have with this country and are just hypocrites. If you come like this, you change your mind. Somebody said that the subsidies, they remove it, it's okay. Tomorrow they will say, oh, it's not, it's okay because it's my person. Let me tell you the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is that Bishop already said something every time he said. He said, you should not be too proud. When you do mistake, come out to say, I did a mistake. I don't say that it's proud for the president and the peace to come say, sorry, I did a mistake. I know the three president candidates said they are going to remove subsidy. But I follow Peter Obi. Peter Obi said, before he will remove the subsidy, they said they are using about 60 million liters a day. He said we check whether it's up to that before we will remove it. So, if it is before we remove it, then you look at former state command governor, Fᴏᴜᴜ. He said something that day. He said that 2012 protest, they knew that what Goodluck was doing was right, but they just cash up on the people just to deceive them before just to take power. So they started on a lying note in 2015. When you said the lie once, you will need another lie to cover out. That is what IPC have been doing for the past 9 years. They should come back to apologize to Nigeria so that let us start on a clean note. Thank you.
Thank you for calling, Mr. Lucky. Hello.
Hello, Stage Babalola. How are you? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Peter Monse from Shomolu.
Welcome.
I'm on the manufacturers, warning them that anytime you have your meeting, please don't talk about increasing interest rates again. Why? Because they are going to be out of business. Why? Because their produce or their product will be out of the reach of Nigerians. I joined the manufacturing sector to beg whoever is in charge that don't talk about any increment in interest rate any longer. Let Nigerians survive. Let manufacturers in Nigeria breathe. What is going on? What is happening? You can't buy anything again. I don't have time to enumerate all the products that are out of our reach now. Common thing, like 2 bags of Lipton you used to buy 10 naira. If now some places, that 2 bags is 150 or 200. Where is the money? Soft drink that you used to buy 70 naira. When APC came in, they raised it to 150. It's now 400 naira. Where do you have the money to buy that? It's because of things like this interest rate and other things that are happening in the manufacturing sector. What can Nigerians buy again? Nothing. You have reduced us to beggars. And then you still want to talk about increment in interest rate. That means you are far away from the masses. You don't have the feelings for the masses. And you are not sensitive to the plight of the masses. And for their whatever oil subsidy they say they are paying now, they are not paying now. Well, like many people have said, when you start with lies, you will need some lies to cover it up. But the man you cannot lie to is God in heaven. We will survive. God will take us there. But the point remains that Nigerians, have we shined our eyes? Have we seen what is happening? Next time, we should be wiser. Have a nice day, my sister. Thank you.
Have a better one. Thank you for calling. Hello. Please, the volume on your radio, sir. Good morning. Turn down the volume on your radio, sir. All right. Please try to call us back if you can. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. This Sandra.
Sage Babalola.
Sage Babalola. All right. I want to talk about
your name,
this.
Sir, where you're calling from as well.
All right. This is Mr. from Journalist Estate.
Welcome. Go ahead, please. Yeah.
Right. The speech of Bayonanuga. You see, I am an Edo man, but it is time we tell ourselves the bitter truth. Just like the Northerners are realizing now that this so-called Peter Obi, probably if we give him a chance of...
Hold on, sir. Please, what story are you addressing? Are you talking about the fuel crisis or the private sector conversation about the MPC? Which one?
I'm talking about generally over the issues.
No, we have a focus for the day, sir. We have a focus for the day. It's 2 stories that are the focus of the day. It's not open mic today, sir. It's 2 stories.
All right. So if it is the first stuff, I think I don't have much to say about that. I think I somehow believe that Dangote wants to monopolize everything. Look at cement. When he came on board, how much was cement? 1,000 something. Look at how it's gone up. Maybe that is where they are. But all of them they are in fact they're the problem of this society. And that's what I want to talk about Bayonanuga.
I'll reiterate the focus of the day in case you probably did not catch it. I'll reiterate it so that when you call back, if you call back, you know what exactly we're talking about. We're not talking about monopoly of the market or statements by certain individuals. We addressed that during trends in the papers. For mainland focus, we're talking about marketers saying that 700 billion naira will be spent monthly on fuel subsidy because the landing cost has increased to about 1,117 naira. So chances are subsidy that is as high as 700 billion naira will be paid. And so the the contradiction really comes from the fact that from the very first day of this administration, the opening statement was subsidy is gone. So why exactly are we still paying monies that we have given different names? The nomenclature really, the intervention, it's under recovery, but we're still paying certain amounts to subsidize the pump price of PMS. So we're asking what you make of the projections and the revelations by the marketers on subsidy payment, and what are the issues concerning transparency and accountability when it comes to this subsidy payment, because as of now, it's not a single individual in government or within the oil sector that has admitted that subsidy is paid. Like I said, different names have been given to it, intervention amongst many other things. But why is it that we cannot just outrightly explain that the subsidy removal is not something that worked out great? We might need to think of other strategies. So that's what we're really asking you about. For the organized private sector, they are asking that following the MPC meeting, the outcome of the meeting should not be an increase in interest rates because private businesses are suffering. In fact, public institutions are not having a field day as well. But then they're asking that the Monetary Policy Committee not increase the interest rate after their meeting and think of other policies to think of it rather than the monetary policy. Once again, this is me summarizing the focus for the day. Please let's not derail the conversation. Let's stick to the stories that have been selected. Thursday is coming. Thursday is open mic Thursday. You can talk about anything that you like. 0913-6000-410. You have 2 minutes for conversation. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Yes, my name is Tâmilora.
Your name is?
Tâmilora.
Please, do you mind taking us off hands-free if you're using headphones or something?
Is it better now?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, on the increase in interest rates, seeing that they have a dying economy and it's like they want to finish off the economy. The truth is, how many manufacturing companies are surviving? You understand? So the few ones that are surviving, you still want to increase the interest rate. So who do you think will transfer the burden? And the burden will be transferred on the end users now. Who are you and I? You get. And when we cannot buy, what happens? The business suffers and dies. So I think the government should find another means of, even if, I don't know, I understand the place of increasing interest rates to kill inflation, but this time it's not going to work. The inflation we have is as a result of bad policies. You get. So I feel they shouldn't even go there, because going there simply means several companies will die in natural death. And as for the subsidy payment, see, I think people have said it. You need more lights to cover more lights. And then we can't just continue like this. So fine, you are removing subsidy and then the whole problem started. Why not just reverse yourself? He's the chief commander of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I might be wants to chase after the cabals and things like that. So now, because Dangote is trying to come upstream now, look at what they are trying to do. I'm sure they will resolve their differences. If not, things will happen. You know, you already said several of them, the cabals have whatever refineries in Malta where they bring things. No wonder, most times you just be changing your fuel pump. It's the truth. Because you don't even know the kind of oil you are buying. At times you buy fuel, you check your gauge. You will go and come, and you're like, what is happening? So is it getting dried up or what? At times you just be driving, you just go to, they'll tell you your fuel pump is having a problem. Like it has been said, let them even go and test all these fuel we are even buying. If it's possible for your station to even bring in energy experts and talk about it, maybe I will call me and my experience is there. Within a month, I'm already going to check out what is even wrong with your fuel pump and things like that.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you very much and have a blessed day.
Have a beautiful one yourself. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Morning, Babalola.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I like this one.
Welcome.
First of all, on the issue of subsidy, whether they are paying or no, they are not paying. Yes, of course, they are paying. Everybody knows the rate of dollar to naira, and since we still depend on importation, so what does we expect? The only thing is that the federal government feel shy to come out to say they are paying subsidy. It's an eyesore because they are still importing. So are they going to be telling us to be buying a liter of petrol 1,000 something? So it's frightening. So that's the position. So a reasonable person will know they are paying. So, but you see, the bottom line is that, sorry to say, our president does not, he took the wrong step on the wrong direction. when you know these Kapa people, they are the one that is milking us, then you look for a way to salvage Nigeria. And how is the way? Is the way is to resuscitate our refinery. So you will not be wasting the dollars in importing fuel. And look at what is happening to Dangote. You say we are, that thing will relieve us of something, then you are not frustrating Dangote. So where are we heading to? So I mean, our president should sit down and know, what to do for us to salvage, to release from this bad economy. On the interest rate, I think to me, it's like the Ministry of Finance, they're just gambling, because that's the way I look at it. So the bottom line lies on our leader, that is the president, to know what he's doing to save us from this calamity. Have a nice day.
Have a better one. Thank you so much for calling Alhaji Subari. Let's go to WhatsApp and read a few messages. We have on WhatsApp, good morning Mainland FM. Please, I want to ask a question. Are we all in the same Nigeria? Just at Berger here, along with the same Lagos-Ibadan Express Road, fuel is sold at 625 naira per litre, while at Mοποiba, the same fuel goes for 730 naira per litre. No wonder some people do not want Dangote refinery to come up. My name is Ifeanyi from Asheshe. Thank you very much, Mr. Ifeanyi, for texting. Still on WhatsApp, we have good morning Mainland FM. If Dangote can pass through all of this to establish a business as big as a refinery, you can imagine what an average Nigerian business is going through in his or small business, paying extra illegal charges from the gate of seaport to the final destination. How will such a thing encourage a foreign investor? It seems that some individuals are holding this country hostage. If we don't stand up against this, things will not get better soon. Ralph from Satellite Town. Thank you so much. Moving on, good morning. As an experienced analyst, can the... Okay, thank you very much, Joseph, for your message. That's not the focus of the day. We have another one here. Hi, Mainland FM. On the landing cost, it will only take some time before we start paying 1,000 naira for fuel. The state-spent subsidy is gone. It's part of an agenda of the West, and we could see this when the IMF came out to tell the presidency to completely remove the hidden subsidy they are still paying. The effects of neocolonialism will be the downfall of Nigeria. The organized private sector cannot cope with the minimum wage due to the collapse of the economy. How do you expect a business owner who makes 100,000 naira in profit from his business per month to pay a salary of 70,000? Even the cost of running the business in Nigeria with the policy implemented by the government will cripple the economy in the long run. It's quite painful that the shackles of borrowing has been enslaved upon us, and it's eating up our natural resources due to the agreement on the borrowings that we've made. The solution to our economy is not a textbook solution. Diversification is the only way, and a closed economy. A message from Sean. Thank you very much, Sean, for your insight into the conversation. I'm still reading from WhatsApp. Good morning, Sage and Fuhad. If I should suggest concerning the oil sector issue, the Nigerian masses should all come out en masse to protest the removal of Mele Kyari as the CEO of NNPCL from office, and start now and see how it will go. Sage, don't always slow down Mr. Fuhad by saying it's okay when he's stating the fact. When did I say it's okay? Like, what's happening here? Moving forward, the World Bank that is investing money in our electricity should not monitor the money so that it will not enter politicians' pockets. Benjamin from Shogunle. All right, thank you, Benjamin from Shogunle. Maybe you should pay more attention. We have a message here. Madam Sage, subsidy has gone was a statement that wasn't well thought out. Despite subsidy removal, there's still no fuel availability in most states of the Federation. One wonders why Nigerian leaders keep on using obscure strategy to deceive people. It's not too late for office reversal of the present economic policy. We should fight corruption and punish those that are found wanting. It's very sad that there's no functional refinery in Nigeria up until this moment. Noah from Igondo is the author of that message. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate the brevity this morning. Still messages on WhatsApp. We have Adeyemi Kamoru from Satellite Town, Lagos, who says when APC was in the opposition, all right. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for your message. Good morning, Sage and Fuad. The mafia in the oil sector would never allow any form of transparency. It's very appalling that NNPCL cannot provide accurate figures on fuel subsidy payment. In fact, Nigeria shouldn't remain a member of OPEC anymore. Our leaders are not sincere and they do not have interest of the masses at heart. On fiscal and monetary policy, honestly, virtually all the individuals in the cabinet of Mr. President, especially the financial sectors, are mediocre, and there is nothing to put on the table for Nigerians. Damilola from Alaba sent that one. Stevie Kelu says, good morning, Mainland Radio. Sage, my take is that issuing and retracting information is a part of management. So the mistake of this government is not coming out clean to tell Nigerians that they have withdrawn the inaugural statement by the president that said subsidy is gone. It was a slip of tongue. We will forgive him, but to continue to live on denial is a no-no for Nigerians. Stevie Kelu from Maryland sent that particular message. I'll read this last one and it's back to the phones. All right. Good morning, Mainland FM crew. Let me tell you the truth. Nigeria's problem is far away from being resolved. The reason is clear apart from leadership failure and political mediocrity. The citizens have fallen victim of their divide and rule tactic, and that's why somebody called in to defend the government's ineptitude and political rascality, especially on the removal of subsidy and other trial and error policies. All of this to me is a product of ethnic bigotry and senseless hypocrisy, pure and simple. Victor Aloigbuke from Ikeja. All right, thank you very much. Keep the messages coming in. The number to text, that's WhatsApp and text messages precisely, 0913-6000-430. But if you're calling in, it's 0913-6000-410. I'll take a few more phone calls and then we go to Facebook. All right, this is Mainland Focus on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. We're having a conversation about fuel subsidy payment, and we're also talking about the projections for the outcome of the MPC meeting that is currently ongoing. Let's go back to the phone. Please remember that you have just 2 minutes for submissions. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning. God bless you.
God bless you too. Your name, sir?
Yes, Mr. Shukudi from Sango.
All right. Please, sir, do you mind speaking up a little bit? We can barely hear you.
Okay. Yes. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, please.
Okay. No, somebody from Ozalaba sent a text that you just read. So I think I corroborate with you. The real problem we have in Nigeria is nothing but we are being led by financial and economic illiterate. That is it. I'm sorry to say that. But that is too far. How can we have oil and gas, petroleum, crude oil and gas that is being wasted for the past 50 years? If they can, if we have the guts, courage, their country to just do anything we can do to revolutionize our petroleum industry, all these things we are talking about, and everything is perfect, cooking. Unless we get people who know how to manage our oil, the problem will continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. We appreciate you. Hope to hear back from you again. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, so guys,
I'm Ifi. How are you now?
I'm fine. How are your family?
Fine, thank you.
I want to talk about this subsidy. You see, so when I say we will go start our own business, this 100 billion or more for a month. Some people will be collecting that money in the name of subsidy. All of us will go find we'll go and register and stand in front of NNPC. We want to be supplying fuel.
Do you have
because
trailer?
Yeah,
vessel.
I will go buy trailer. We go bring people who go sponsor.
And maybe do you think it's 2.5? It's not 2.5 that's selling vessel.
I will go bring trailer. We go find bank wey go sponsor us. I don't see road to 700 billion. No. At least if I get 1 billion, man, to me now. Every month 700 billion. You see the reason why we don't want, why our president could have come down to enter that, resume in his office and check every in-tray and out-tray and what is happening before saying that subsidy is gone. That subsidy is gone May 29, 2023. As that's the spirit bound of what is happening in our economy today. It destroyed everything. Even though it was destroyed in the former government, this one just puts final stop to it. You see it now? There's nothing to, the president will tell Nigerians about his government that they will not say, they are playing hanky-panky with subsidy. Because you told us subsidy is gone. Then why are you doing this? Why are you paying? If we have said that there, even if we are going to buy the fuel at 700, 1,000, we will know that it's a this thing. But this one, you just, subsidy is gone. and everything issue yesterday. First in 3 months yesterday, I saw wheelbarrow passing in front of me. I said, come. How much? He was selling me 7,000 for a new yam. 7,000. How much less? Say 5,000. I said, go. I can do without yam. This is because of all the subsidies gone. Yes.
Thank you.
Now we want to. Yeah, there's nothing we tell Nigerians.
Thank you.
He has destroyed his government. I don't know if it's going to pass it to.
Thank you so much for calling. Have a beautiful day. I really don't know how we expect the situation to be handled, because here's the thing: a policy reversal at this point might be impossible.
What are we reversing the policy?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The subsidy policy, the policy on subsidy removal, it's somewhat impossible to reverse at this time. We're way too deep into the rabbit hole. But then again, if we allow it to operate the way it's operating and just go with the flow, we will buy PMS at 2,000 naira per litre. So this intervention has become necessary. That's one angle I want us to
Sage,
look at.
Again, we've always talked about trying to solve a problem and then creating a bigger problem.
Yeah.
And when there's a problem, again, it's always important to check and recheck so that whatever solution you are prescribing would not aggravate the problem. We've seen people in the past attempting to solve a problem or create a bigger problem. All of these stories around landing costs is again because we are still importing refined petroleum products into the country. And again, we have an opportunity to be self-sufficient locally because we're an oil-producing nation. As an oil-producing nation, we shouldn't be talking about landing costs, really. Because, again, if you look at all of the intricacies as to what goes into importation of refined product, that was why some months back, I was practically very annoyed with Mele Kyari when he said that even if we start refining locally, it
won't
only
affect the cost.
It won't really affect the cost, you know. So, from their statements, consciously or unconsciously, you see where their mind is really as to some of these things. These are people who want the status quo to remain when it comes to importation of refined product. The reality is that, look, whether we like it or not, there's a pressure on Forex. Because, again, importation would not happen with Naira. You are importing with Forex. Whether it is forward sale, whether it is the swap deals, the reality is that, look, resources that are supposed to be domiciled in this country for the benefit of Nigerians have been taken away. The swap deal is even very ridiculous, because basically you take your crude out for refined product, whereas there are other byproducts that you are losing out for.
Not only PMS.
Not only PMS or even diesel or jet A1. There are other things that you have lost out, really. It's even more difficult to be transparent with that kind of deals. The easiest way out, Sage, at least with the oil sector, apart from other fiscal policies that we should be talking about, is for us to begin to refine our product locally, produce enough crude oil, refine locally for domestic consumption. So, like I said with the Saudi Arabia scenario, you are not only just selling crude. If you are able to produce enough, you can also refine to sell to make money.
Okay, so instead of this 700 billion naira intervention that we're doing,
we have no intervention.
even if it's a modular refinery, a few modular refineries, we'll make sure they work.
Look, do you know what? Say, do you know you can refine to meet your own peculiar needs locally? Right. You can even determine your own price. And the easiest way to affect everybody in Nigeria, Sage, is to subsidize the price of PMS. It could be done in a local context when you refine locally. It's more transparent. You know what you're dealing with.
The transaction is in Naira.
It's in Naira. It is local. You refine. You know the quantity. Nobody can begin to manipulate the figures because it is right here in Nigeria. But when you bring it, the problem with subsidy then was that, look, there are people who will not bring in anything and they get monies. So until we are able to solve that, and that's why, like I said, because of the endemic corruption, there are people who want us to continue to import, and they're even saying it. They're not even hiding it again.
They don't want monopoly.
If you see the picture of Dangote in their midst, you know why I'm saying that. Look, what they will be telling him is, where is the crude now? Where is the crude?
They brought him out of his shell. He's talking so much now.
He's everywhere.
I'm so sorry.
The man is tired.
I'm so sorry.
That's why I say, bring my 20 billion.
Come and carry your refinery. Let's read a few Facebook messages. Those on the phone will have to forgive me. All right, I usually don't want those messages to pile up too much. John Benjamin on Facebook says, subsidy is not Nigeria's problem from what is happening. The issue on ground is that NNPCL and Petroleum Minister and both mainstream and downstream conspiracy and corruption. The president should put in a technocrat that can solve petroleum and diesel problem and let us have someone to hold responsible for any reason. We do know who to hold responsible. We just cannot hold them.
The person is unholdable.
We know the people to hold. We just cannot hold them. Benjamin Isse on Facebook says, good morning, Sage and Fuad. If I should suggest concerning the oil sector issue, The people should come out. Okay, you sent this message earlier. Thank you very much. During trends in the papers, I read it. 𝐴𝐵𝐴𝐶 Tဃᴇ says, good morning, Sage. The massive corruption, I'm so sorry, in the subsidy claim is the real reason why our refineries are in the woods. The brouhaha between the government and Dangote lays credence to it.
All of that.
I say you should come and carry it now. He's not doing it.
No, they said monopoly. They don't want monopoly with local refining of petroleum products, but they want monopoly with importation of PMS.
Even though.
Young
Bash on Facebook says, good morning, Sage and Fuad. I really like the way Oga Fuad analyzes the issue. In this country, our leaders do not care about the masses. That is why they are sabotaging every effort of a person who tries to make Nigeria better. And I'm talking of Dangote. All right, thank you very much, Young Bash. Basil Chika, still on Facebook, says one of the greatest problems of this government is that they lack the ability and character to seek and take advice and opinion from Nigerians, and this has been causing a lot of damages in the system. It is very difficult for them to take their words back or reverse the subsidies gone policy. Rather, they have gone through the back door, which is now baptized intervention, lies, deceit and propaganda, which cannot put food on the table. Instead, it is all provocation. Chika Bende from Trade Fair, Lagos. All right, Christopher.
So when Port Harcourt starts, Warri starts, and Kaduna starts, the refineries, where would the crude come from?
They will find a way. They will find a way.
If Dangote, after 1 year, is still in this mess,
they will find a way. They will find a way. It's August now.
For Port Harcourt, right?
Yes.
Okay, the rest before the end of the year.
Yes, let's Port Harcourt first.
August, right?
Yes, now. August, please.
August is here. It's upon us already.
Don't carry my mind. Let me go now. Please, it's August. I believe.
Okay, well,
please, I believe.
I believe you. I type into your belief.
I believe.
Let me tap from your belief.
Well, leave me alone. I believe. Christopher F. Young says, good morning, everyone in the studio. God bless you. We know that the fuel subsidy was still paid, even though Mr. President told us that fuel subsidy is gone. There was nothing like this, and there is no transparency there. It's a pity that Nigerians paid for this very failure of the federal government's ability to do things right. We Nigerians, we need this protest, and we must go on this protest to tell the federal government that we don't like the present government policy and its anti-people policy. Let the federal government come back to their drawing board and rebuild it again. Nigerians are dying. The hardship is too much. Thank you very much.
And if you must protest peacefully.
Let's pause on Facebook for a bit and go back to the phones. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Sage.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, and my friend Fuad.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, God bless all of you.
Amen.
I'm Barrister Peter Oku. I'm calling from Maryland.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you. You see, the issue of these issues we are discussing. First of all, let me take the issue of subsidy of the petroleum products. You see, the Nigerian petroleum industry is like a tantalizing mirage. The more you look, the less you see. Our refineries, the four refineries that were built around 1963, 73, those refineries are scrapped. They are not going to work. But the government, they don't want to come out and tell against the truth. I went to school in Houston, Texas, and I worked in some of these refinery companies. Those refineries in America, they have been built long time before the Nigeria built the refineries we have here. And those are working fine. But these refineries here are scrapped because they never maintain them. All the maintenance that they're supposed to do on a periodic basis, they were never maintained. They just eat the money. You know, so those refineries cannot work. They are supposed to build new ones if we are going to be self-sufficient in petroleum products. Like my friend Fuad said, there are so many byproducts from refining. Apart from the PMS, almost 8 different byproducts. Where are they? Nigeria will carry their crude and go give it to take it to other countries to refine, but they don't bring back those other byproducts. We only get PMS. So there are a lot of shady things in our petroleum industry, and I blame Obasanjo specifically. He has done a lot of good things, but he has done a lot of messed up the Nigerian petroleum thing with this 1972 Land Use Act.
Thank you so much for calling. Hello.
Hello, Sage. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Joe from Barega.
Welcome.
What are the greeto?
I greet you too, sir. Good morning, sir.
What? You see, we have this petroleum thing. You know, we have discussed this time and time. All these landing costs, these costs, they should come publicly, interpret it for us before we'll agree. Because all what they're telling us is lies all over about this petroleum. Oh, the landing cost is one this, one that, this and that. We don't have our exchange rate is high. What? They are telling us lies. The secrecy of this oil thing in Nigeria, nobody, it's only God that will explain it. If we talk it from now till next year, we'll still remain the same thing. But I don't pray we'll remain the same thing. God will do it for us in Jesus' name. Say amen now.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. I say a big
amen. We will not
remain
that. Like this. We will not remain like this. Fuhad.
Amen.
We will not remain like this.
Amen.
Good morning. That's only what I want to say.
Good morning and amen again.
Thank you for calling. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
You get me a perpetual suspense. Wow.
You don't be angry.
You're from Ogba.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you don't say sorry. Just like you don't say amen.
Sorry.
What? It's just like it's not that they don't know what to do.
Hey,
honestly, they know exactly what to do. But the issue is this, that vested interest and corruption, and the vested interest is bordered on corruption, that will not allow them to do whatever they are supposed to do. But honestly, if I were Mr. President, I would not have contested, because knowing fully well that the Kabbalah will not allow to do whatever you want to do. Even the Western powers, I want those to say that it is good to remain in your own domain with a clean sheet. But am I lying?
Yeah, well, of course, yes.
With a clean sheet, rather than becoming, I don't want to say something because you are president. But if you have known this, and he knows, because the way it is now, look at the process that is coming up. And like I said the other time, that this Lagos Tagori road, I can make able to tell you, God forbid bad things. If that process escalates, which we don't pray for, people will even steal the iron to it. But am I right? Because you become a that's just it. Like I can tell you the other day, you need what? In the face of hunger?
Your connection is bad, sir. Your connection is bad. We can barely.
We're struggling to hear it, but I think a larger part of what he said.
Yeah, we were able to get that. You can send the rest via text, actually.
Good morning, the wise one.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, Fuhad.
Good morning, Master.
Thank you. We thank God for another day. Fuhad, can you educate me a bit? Apart from Nigeria, is there any other country that has a refinery that they don't have the refinery like Dangote and they don't have crude oil? Is there any other country in the whole of the universe?
Like crude oil producing countries.
An oil producing country or just a country?
That has a refinery and they say they don't have crude oil to give to the refinery. Is there any?
I don't know.
Countries that don't have crude oil.
Even there are countries without crude oil that have refineries.
Abracadabra. Somebody said Moe fuel is 730. In my area here it's 800. 800 naira. Now, the man that wants to give us fuel now, they are frustrating him. And a very good argument that he has the Dangote rice, Dangote spaghetti, Dangote this, Dangote that. Very good argument. But they forget to see that this man still invested in this country. Supposing he did not invest at all in Fuhad, like the politicians who just take our money and touch it away. This man still invested though. And even our government, our federal government, what are they doing? How many politicians have invested in this country? You see, when we want to talk, we just talk to suit us. I want to tell John, For you to say Mr. President should not have contested, Haba, somebody who said this is lifelong ambition. It could possible. Nigeria is precipitating. I'm not in support of protest because they will still hijack it and destroy properties. I am never in support of it. But what do we do? President Tinubu, Nigerians who...
Thank you for calling, Pastor Ambrose. Hello, good morning.
Good
The volume on your radio, sir. Please turn it down or off. Good morning.
morning.
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Saheed.
Good morning,
And Madam Sega Fuhad.
Good morning.
My take is very simple.
Your names and location.
What's your name, sir?
My name is 𝐴LHAJI Remi.
Okay. From Mushin, right?
I'm calling from Palm
Avenue. Okay, yes.
Yes. My take this morning is very simple. The President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, will resign from that Minister of Petroleum. It just handed down that portfolio. 2, Mili Kyari, Ahmed Farouk, they should be removed immediately. 3, all these moribund refinery that people have been paid for doing nothing, the staff there should be asked to leave. And finally, Lagos State government has to explain to me as a Lagosian the $100 million collected from Dangote, what we have done it for, have used it for. What? Wake up. Good morning.
I'm with you.
Don't sleep.
On that one.
Don't sleep.
As a Lagosian, I'm also with you. That 100 million was there you go.
Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name, please.
Oh.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is 𝐴.
You're welcome.
The reason as why we or most of us supported the removal of subsidy back then was at least we need more money to run the government and to be productive again. Me especially, I was hoping, if we remove the subsidy in the next 1 year, we will be able to pay up our debt, and be free a little bit. Just imagine, even after 1 year, we are still borrowing upon the removal. You said it's not subsidy that you are only intervening, it's just intervention. But with this intervention, it's almost as if you are even paying more money now. See, I am an APC member. The only language President Tinubu, this President Tinubu, I've been following him, and I voted for him. I've been following him. See, the only language he understands is protest. See, if we don't protest in this this era, we will not get the best of him. And personally, me, I'm worried though, because one, I don't want us to lose. I don't want my party to get out of power. I'm begging Nigerians, please let us protest so that he will. We are preventing him from even getting information as to what is happening in Nigeria. That's the reason why I say, okay, Fuhad, you and Lady Sandra, please help us to bring the Yaloja or Shi to the studio. We want to hear from them, or even the meeting number. We want to hear from them. What is going on? Is the president hearing what our cries are for? Thank you. Please help us to bring. Is that the Yaloja of Lagos, or Shi, or even Remy?
All right.
Why do that?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Why? The box stops.
Morning, Steve.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There is this man from my brother shed.
Welcome.
You're welcome.
Yes. Let me just now the issue of Dangote. Is it not the same Dangote that the president is calling and they should come and see what will make Nigeria better? And they are treating like this. When they, I said during when they organize this committee, and I said that in the back of Dangote, you'll be seeing that if this president knows that he can do it better, why is he calling people together that let's come and do this nation? Number one, he have no mind to do it. And if they are treating Dangote like this, so even though he even have anything in mind to do, he will not do with the way they are treating. Number second, those even vote this current president, in the back of their mind, they are also regretting power. See, so where are we going to get it right? Even though the House of Representatives that went to Dangote refinery yesterday, they have no single answer they just go and because even they even give the president the suggestion. At the end of the day, the suggestion will not see the light of the day. For now, we did not have the people. Until we have the people that will put this nation in order, even though when we are going to have the people that God is going to give us to feed this nation, number two, we need to pray away the evil people. Because the evil people that are in the charge of this.
All right. Let's control.
Yeah, evil people.
The dimension that we're entering is. Thank you very much. We absolutely appreciate your what's the word now?
Submission. Yeah.
Yes, but your passion actually. But thank you very much. We can't take any more phone call. We have less than 4 minutes, so let's spend that time taking our messages. We have on WhatsApp. Hello, Mainland FM. It's unfortunate. This government is not governing the country right. We can all see that the government is still paying subsidy on fuel, despite the president's pronouncement on the 29th of May that subsidy is gone. Can this government please tell Nigerians how much has been saved so far after the removal of subsidy? I can tell you for free that the amount that has been spent on the importation of refined fuel into the country now is far above what was removed. I don't see any shame in the president reversing his decision so as to make life comfortable and to put the country's economy on the right direction. On the outcome of the MPC meeting, which if there is an increment in the interest rate, like Jagemo community. Another one here says, good morning, Mainland FM. My name is Lɪdᴇ well organized. It's high time we look at issues affecting our dear nation critically so we can do the right thing no matter whose ox is gored. Thank you very much for your message. We appreciate you. We have here, good morning, Oga Fuhad. I want to take us back to 2012 January when the ex-president Goodluck Jonathan removed subsidy. We protested as citizens, and that includes this current administration leader, Tinubu. He was saying that NNPC was corrupt. NNPC told us that some of our refineries will be working as of last December. Later, we were being told to